Hi students, this module is LAN3110 Vocational English 5 responding to written correspondence. In this video, we will be looking at the assignment, which is the task of writing a reply letter. Now, let's look at the question paper first. For the situation, now you are Candy Chan, you work at Simple Life Insurance. Your company has confirmed the event organizer for the exhibition day 2020. You have just received the following letter from the event organizer. Now you're going to read the letter and also your handwritten notes below. Then using all the notes here and write a reply letter to Michael Lee. In the incoming letter, at the top here, we'll see the name of the company in which the sender is working, and also the address, telephone number, fax number, and also the website here. And here you'll see the date of this letter being sent. And this is your name, Ken Chan. And here is your job title, Project Manager. And this is the name of your company. This is the address of your company. Let's go through this letter first. Dear Ms. Chan, comma, exhibition date 2020. Thank you for choosing us as the event organizer for the exhibition day 2020. I'm ready to discuss the arrangements with you. From our experience, there are two types of events for your consideration. They are game booths and investment workshops. Please let us know which event you prefer. So, for the first part of our letter, we're going to state our preferences among two events, which are game booths and investment workshops. In the third paragraph, as discussed in the initial meeting, we would like to choose a souvenir for every participant. Will you please let us know your suggestion? May I also request you to confirm the budget? We would be grateful if you could get back to us on the arrangements as soon as possible. So, for this paragraph, we're going to make a suggestion about a souvenir to be given for every participant, and also we are going to make an offer about how to confirm the budget. So that's two other communication functions we're going to do. In the last paragraph, you'll see that we look forward to providing you with quality service. Yours sincerely, a proper complimentary close letter, and here, this is the signature of the sender, Michael Lee. And then this is the name of the sender, Michael Lee, the title. After reading through the letter, we are going to look at the handwritten notes here. So, on the first line here, preference investment workshops. So, for this part here is about making preferences, stating our preferences between these two functions, events. You got all the reasons or we say good points of the advantages of having investment workshops here. And here we will see the drawbacks of having game booths. For the good points here, investment workshops are informative and practical, and they could enhance our professional image, and also they're useful to help clients make good investment decisions. For this part, game booths, they're outdated, it is not easy to recruit enough manpower, and also there were some negative responses from the participants last year. After stating the preferences with the explanations, we're going to make the suggestions as required. Investment guidebook, here, useful to the participants. Apparently, is the reasons of giving out an investment guidebook to the participants. Lastly, we're going to make an offer on how to confirm the budget. Here you will see the name of one department, finance department, and with a right arrow, budget. We are going to ask the finance department to confirm the budget. This is the end of the overview of the whole question paper. Now we are going to look at the answer book. On the right hand side of the screen, you'll see the answer book. At the top of this report letter, you'll see the name of your company, Simple Life Insurance, and also all the contact information of your company. Here we've got the date when you signed this letter, and this is the name of the recipient, Michael Lee. And here is the job title of Michael Lee, Events Manager, and this is the name of his company. And here is the address of the company. For the very first line of the answer, it should be dear, and then here we have to use the appropriate title, Mr., and then a surname of the recipient, Lee, and then add a comma here. Unlike writing an email, normally we'll use we'll follow the customs of what we call close punctuations. That means we'll add a comma after the very first line, dear Mr. Lee. Then we'll skip one line, and then in the middle of the line we'll write down RE column, and then the subject of the letter which has been sent by Michael Lee, expedition date 2020. Please place this subject of the letter in the middle of this particular line. For the first paragraph here, we need to acknowledge the receipt of the letter sent by Michael Lee. So, thank you for the letter. Then write down dated, D-A-T-E-D, dated, and put down the date when Michael Lee sent the letter, the 31st of January 2020. Following the date, we will put down a preposition about here or regarding, if you like, and then the arrangement of the exhibition day 2020. For the second sentence of the first paragraph, we need to put down the purpose of the writing. Since the company is event organizer has already given you two suggestions for the events to be held. So you give thanks first. We are most grateful for the suggestions given, and we are glad to tell you our preference, which are the investment workshops. For the second paragraph, we are going to talk about our preference, investment workshops. In order to make our letter more cohesive, we are going to use a number of cohesive devices, such as first of all, comma. Thank you for proposing two events for our consideration. Remember, in the context of business and workplace, the correspondence, which means the letters and also the emails, we follow a certain standards of formality and politeness. And for the second sentence, after careful comparison, okay, which means you compare game booths and also investment workshops, and you're evaluating the pros and cons of these two events. To state preference, this is one of the possible expressions you may use. Our preference would be for. Remember, for this time, we are talking about the company's preference, not our own personal preference. So, our preference instead of my preference. Our preference would be for investment workshops. Then you are going to explain why. You can use because or other similar expressions like as or since. The first reason is informative and practical. Here, informative and practical are both adjectives, so we have to use here it is or they are. The answer for this reason is they are informative and practical. Why do we use they are? Because we're talking about investment workshops more than one, so we need to use the plural form they rather than it. For the second reasons, first of all, we will use some linking adverbials like moreover, comma. Two blanks enhance blank professional image. Here, enhance as a verb, so we need to use some modal verbs like can or could. They can or they could enhance, which means boost or improve. Enhance our professional image. Second reason. For the third reason here, we can simply put down and. The third reason, useful to have clients make good investment decisions. 2 blanks, useful to have blank clients make good investment decisions. For the first 2 blanks, useful is an adjective. So for this one, we have to use it is or they are. And once again, investment workshops more than one. So this one will be they are. Apart from they are, you can make use of some modal verbs like would. They would be useful to help our clients make good investment decisions. So this is the end of still listing all the advantages of holding investment workshops. Now we are going to talk about the bad points, or we'll call bad points, of holding game booths. In order to show a contrast, we may need to use some of the expressions like on the other hand, comma, on the other hand, comma. Game booths would not be preferred. Okay, we can make use of some passive form of the verbs like preferred, would not be preferred. Again, to explain something, we have to make use of because or since here. Outdated is an adjective, so they are outdated. They are outdated. Again, not it is, because game booths more than one. So it is rather it is. Sorry, they are rather it is. I'm going to link the first reason and also the second reason together. So I simply put down and here. And for this particular reasons, it's a bit tricky. 2 blanks, not easy to recruit, which means hire enough manpower. For not easy is an adjective phrase, so we are going to use it is or they are. For some of you may notice that game boost, so we'll put down they are. But actually, for this particular line, the answer should be it is or it would be, making use of some modal verbs. Actually, this one, it, is a dummy it, refers to the action, recruits enough manpower. This one is follows the sentence pattern. It is adjective, to, and then a verb. This is one example here. It is difficult to finish the task. Here, it is a dummy it. Actually, this one refers to the action of finishing the task. Finishing the task is difficult, but normally we make use of this sentence pattern. It's difficult to finish the task. For the last reason, the last drawback of holding a game booth, negative responses from participants last year. To stress the last point, we can make use of some expressions like most importantly, comma, most importantly, comma. 2 blanks, negative responses from participants last year. Here, we get the hint of using past tense based on this prompt, last year. For this one, 3 possible answers. We had negative responses. We received negative responses. There were negative responses. Pay attention to the first form here. We received, there were. Because we are using past tense here, simple past tense here. For the third paragraph here, let's go back to the question paper first. We need to make a suggestion about the souvenir and also make an offer on how to confirm the budget. So, we're going to combine these two together. Again, to achieve a better cohesion of this letter, we put down secondly, comma here, as opposed to first of all for the second paragraph. Okay, for the third paragraph, secondly, comma, as discussed in the initial meeting, comma. Here, actually, you can refer to the third paragraph of the incoming letter. See, you're now writing the third paragraph, and you're referring to the third paragraph of the incoming letter as well. So, now you're going to make a suggestion about the souvenir, regarding or about the souvenir, comma. Regarding actually means the same as about, but it's more common in the formal letter, especially in business context. To make a suggestion, you can make use of this expression, we would like to suggest, or you can use perhaps we could, or it might be a good idea too. For the suggestion, you suggest investment guidebook, but here we will write down like we would like to suggest giving out an investment guidebook to every participant. And then you are going to explain the reason of giving out a guidebook. So I put down because or as here. 2 blanks useful to the participants. Again, useful is an adjective, so we put down they are useful to the participants, or you can simply put down them here. They are useful to them. For the last point here, on how to confirm the budget, here we're going to make an offer to ask the finance department about the budget. Put down lastly here, we understand that you would like us to confirm the budget. And then you can make use of some expressions to make your letter more businesslike. In view of this, comma, we would consult with or ask the finance department to confirm it. Here, actually, consult with and ask mean similarly, but consult with would be a better choice because it's more formal. At the end of this sentence, and get back to you as soon as possible, okay, referring to here. For the fourth paragraph, which is also the last paragraph, you can make use of this paragraph for the closing of a reply letter. I hope the above ideas are useful to you. Please feel free to contact me if you have any further questions. For the complimentary close, remember this time we are writing on reply letter rather than an email. So we will make use of this expression, yours sincerely, as being used in the incoming letter. After the complimentary close, you need to sign your name, Candy Chan here. And put down your name, Candy Chan, after in the next line of your signature, and also put down your job title, Project Manager, which could be found here in the incoming letter. This is one of the possible responses to the question paper. I have highlighted all the important points for you. For the words highlighted in blue, they are all the grammatical testing points. Please pay attention to them. You must pause the video here and spend a few minutes to study this possible response against the question paper. In order to further study this possible response, I would like to give you some more acceptable expressions for some particular lines. Let's look at the first paragraph. Instead of thank you for the letter dated the 31st of January, blah 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 blah, you can make use of other expressions such as with reference to your letter dated the 31st of January, blah blah blah. But remember, if you use this expression with reference to instead of thank you for the letter, this one ends with a comma. So if you do this one, this line, we are most grateful, we here will be in lowercase instead of a capital letter. In the second paragraph, instead of after careful comparison, you can make use of other expressions like after evaluation or after evaluating the pros and cons of the two events. And here, our preference would be for and stating preference and more than one possible expressions. Instead of our preference would be for, you can make use of we would. And here, our preference would be for. There are a number of ways to state preference. Apart from our preference would be for, you can make use of we would prefer. We would prefer investment workshops, or we would prefer holding investment workshops, or we would prefer to hold investment workshops. Linking words, linking expressions. Apart from moreover, you can make use of in addition or furthermore. For the discourse markers like regarding or about, these prepositions, apart from these two prepositions, you can make use of concerning as well. This is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.